start a new segment, so this is going to be called Story Time.
Yeah.
We have our lovely listeners.
Our two number one fans,
Yeah.
Aubrey and Oliver.
Yeah.
Oliver's my beagle.
And we decided to bring a new little segment called Story Time because I think it's really empowering to hear other people's stories. And we'll have like a different theme every time we have our Story Time segment. So if you have any, after today, you kind of get an idea of what it is. If you have any ideas for a theme or a theme that you want to send us, please leave them in the comments, or you can email us at the2naturalgirls@gmail.com. But today, we're going to have Story Time, a time where we felt really courageous and how that kind of impacted us in some kind of way. And so I'm gonna talk about when I was 18, just turning 19 years old.
Baby!
I was a wee little baby.
Baby.
And I moved to Australia.
It's a big move.
Yeah, and I didn't know
From California.
Yeah, I'm from California. I had been working full-time just out of high school, and I kind of knew what I wanted to study, but didn't know exactly where. I had gone traveling in the UK, and I decided I really want to go outside of the country and not just like study abroad for 6 months. I just wanted to experience something completely different, have a big change. And mind you, I'm not the most like outgoing person. Like I'm friendly and I make friends and stuff, but I'm not like a extrovert. I'm definitely introverted. So this was, I think...
It was a big move.
It was a big move, yeah.
A leap of faith.
Definitely. And everyone asks why Perth, because I live in Perth.
I asked why Perth. I was like, why Perth? I mean, I love Perth, and I'm from Perth originally and born and raised here, but I was like, why come from California to Perth?
And I never have a real answer. It was not like my dreams of Perth or anything like that.
I'm dreaming of Perth.
To be honest, what happened was I was looking for a school to study nutrition and natural medicine at, and I honestly was at a hostel. I was at a hostel, and I Google searched holistic colleges internationally, and Perth came up, and I was like, I've never been to Australia. Where's Perth? Somewhere near Sydney? And I was like, all right. I called my mom, and I was telling her about it, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go to school in Australia. And a few months later, I applied, I got in, everything happened really fast. I moved over here, and it took a lot of courage. It was not an easy first year. It was very, very difficult, actually, and there was many times that I was ready to move home because I was very young, and you go from, dependent on your parents, not for everything, but to extremely independent and nothing to fall back on and no friends.
You get homesick.
For sure. But 5 years later, I'm still here. And it was
thank God that you're still here.
And it was the best decision I think I ever made in my life. It was it was the hardest. It was I still miss my family every day. I still miss my friends every day. I still don't know where I'm gonna end up in the world, but I'm loving it right now, and
you're just trusting.
Yeah, definitely
you took a leap of faith.
Yeah.
You pulled up some courage within inside of you and said, I'm going to take this leap of faith, and I'm going to trust that wherever it takes me is where it takes me.
So I guess the takeaway message from that is really, sometimes it is just a big leap of faith that you need to take, and you don't know how it's going to end up, and things aren't always easy, or like. It ended up being a dream come true, but it didn't seem like that at first. So I just encourage people to be courageous, and if you really feel like you want to do something, just try it. Just give it a try.
I mean, it's always like you could always go back to California.
Exactly.
But so I guess my courageous story, or thing that I always look back at, is when I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. I went to Tanzania with a friend. We did some volunteering, trip, and after that we kind of did the Serengeti, which was amazing, and then we decided at the last minute to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Literally had not planned, and we just booked it at the very last minute and did it, and one of the most amazing things I ever did. But I nearly didn't climb the mountain all the way to the top. So we started climbing, and it's about 4 days up and 2 days down, so 6 days in total. And it's like it's beautiful, you're just walking, so plodding along, walking up the mountain and taking it all in and really enjoying it, and that was fine. But it's like in life, and things are easy, like, yeah, I can do this is fine, you don't really think much about it, you don't really have to put too much effort in. But as it started to get higher to the summit, and the altitude sickness kicked in, and it felt like my lungs were closing in on me, like this vice was around my lungs and a vice around my head. So I felt nauseous, I couldn't breathe properly, I I was really tired, and I just was like, I don't think I can do this, and I really started to have those fears and those doubts of, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the summit as much as I want to.
Yeah.
I just don't, you start losing faith in your own abilities. And it was more about, I had to really dig deep inside, and I had a really good friend with me at the time who's like, Anika, you can go back and that's fine, but I think you'll regret it if you don't push yourself. Yeah. And she's like, honestly, take the altitude sickness tablets. I know you're still going to feel crappy, and I was, because I was on the altitude sickness tablets, but she's like, I think you can push through, and this will be something that you'll look back at and be really proud of that you did. And I'm so glad I did it. So I kept pushing through, and I felt like crap, and I was cold. We couldn't seem to get warm. I had altitude sickness. I was tired. I was feeling really, you start feeling very emotional as well, because a long way away from home, fairly young, and I just kind of wanted, you just kind of want your mum to kind of reassure you, like, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, so I really just had to dig deep and trust that I could do it, and I did, and I was like, we'll just keep putting one step in front of the other, and that's all you can do in hard times, and when you don't know what's in front of you, and you can't see the future, which we never can, and just trust that I will get there. And it felt like I was never going to get there, and it was taking forever, and I finally made it to the summit, and I did. I felt like crap, but I was also really happy, but I kind of wasn't enjoying it as much as I wish I could have. But I still made it. I felt so proud of myself that I'd found the courage within to make it all the way to the summit, even though I was feeling really crap and really unsure that I don't know what I actually thought was going to happen, but I just part of me just wanted to give up because it wasn't easy, and it wasn't comfortable. It was uncomfortable, but another part of me was going, well, no, don't give up just because it's uncomfortable and you're feeling a bit unwell about things. You can do this. You can dig deep. Yeah. And I did. And I'm not saying altitude sickness is a thing to take lightly.
No,
it's not at all. But I wasn't that bad that I couldn't push through. It was more because a lot of people turned back, and a lot of fit people were turning back as well. And I was like, well, if they're turning back and they've got altitude sickness and they're fitter than me, I can't do this. So a lot of that fear was playing into me. But I managed to do it, and I'm not saying it's because I was fitter than them, not at all. I don't know what it was, but I just kind of
I think a lot of
persevered.
I was going to say a lot of it
mind
is
over
mental.
Matter. It was mind over matter, and something within me was like, you can do this. And my great friend, who was like a little life coach on the side, going, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I really think you're going to regret if you don't do this. And thank God she was on the sidelines kind of championing me on. And I got there, and just absolutely incredible. And on the way down, I started getting bronchitis, and I had bronchitis for the rest of my trip, but it doesn't matter because I didn't care. I had literally conquered a mountain. So now when I have difficult things in my life, I'm like, you know what? You have conquered a mountain. You've literally and physically climbed the mountain to the top and come back down and been fine. So you can conquer this emotional mountain, this mental mountain that is now happening in your life, because you know you can physically conquer mountains. So that's my little story.
So we encourage you to dig deep and find your courageous moment. If you have any really cool courageous moments that you want to share, please leave them in.
Yeah, we'd love to hear about your courageous moments.
You can always email us as well. For our next storytime segment, if you'd like to pitch us a topic.
We should have a hot cup of cocoa, story time.
Maybe next time we should have a hot cup of cocoa.
We should have a hot cup of cocoa.
Join us next time for story time, and we'll all have hot cups of cocoa. And if you have a topic that you'd like to pitch us, comment,
let us know.
Yeah, let us know. And hope you have a happy, healthy day.
See you guys.
Bye.
Now the dogs are